What's going on, everybody? It's Rev. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Monster Hunter Wilds. In today's video, we're going to be talking about everything that has to do with the sword and shield, all the combos, what's good, what's not good. Honestly, this weapon doesn't have a lot of things that are bad, but we'll go ahead and discuss it all and hopefully you learn something. We're going to go ahead and get it kicked off with some starter combos here. We have the vertical slash combo. This is a great repositioning tool. Just by tilting the left stick, you're able to dance around the monster, as well as you can throw in a little bit of focus mode here to kind of redirect which way you are going. This is one of the least damaging combos. However, it's great at repositioning after a flinch or something in order to get to a more higher damage zone, because the monsters, you know, like Oleg isn't going to deal as much damage as hitting something in the head, so you can reposition and then go into your more, you know, damaging combos. You also have some great options with your right and top face buttons. By pressing Y and B, you can do an advancing slash. You can do a round slash, which is sort of like a little bit of a combo ender or extender. And then if you hold Y and B, you can do the new charge chop, which does great damage. It's a great way to end a sequence. You can do the charge chop from pretty much anywhere. You can hit twice, you can hit once. You can do a full combo. I'll go ahead and start doing a cheeky combo here and then do something like this. You can then go into a back hop if you wanted to, and kind of just string all of that together. Next up, we have the lateral slash combos, which are exactly what they sound like. It's a 3-hit combo that also can be chuck in a spinning reaper for extra damage. This is a great just kind of bread and butter combo, and then after that you can throw in the charge chop as well if you got an even larger damage window. I find myself using this combo quite a bit during my hunts, just because it's pretty non-committal and it's also fast enough where I'm going to be able to get it off, as opposed to a different type of combo. The nice thing about the sword and shield is that no matter what you're doing or what's happening on the screen, you kind of have access to all of your moves at any given point in time, including your guard, which is great. Another nice thing about the sword and shield is that it has access to slicing damage with the sword and blunt damage with the shield. Holding the left stick and pressing the B or circle button, you'll go ahead and do a shield combo, which is great for knocking out monsters. You can also follow it up with a spinning reaper for extra damage. Not only can you attack with your shield, you can also use it to guard, as you might expect. You can use a guarding slash, which will keep you safe while you're attacking. This doesn't do the most damage in the world, but it's a way to kind of just maybe do like a trading hit if something's about to hit you, or if you're unsure about what's going to happen next. Not a bad idea. You also have this really cool sliding swipe. I think this is a great move. It covers a great distance, and the last hit actually deals some pretty decent damage. You can see I almost did 60 damage in one hit there. Additionally, another really cool thing about the sword and shield is that you're able to utilize items while your weapon is out. So even from like a guard, you can quickly use one of your potions or something and then start moving around. In Monster Hunter Wilds, guarding got a pretty significant buff, so you can even use your shield to perfect block attacks and negate a lot of the damage and sort of the negative side effects of blocking all in one go, so long as you time it perfectly with the attack. After perfectly guarding a few times, you'll build up a guard clash, which will allow you to throw the monster off of you and deal quite a significant amount of damage, as well as give you a small damage window. Additionally, we have some really cool tricks up our sleeve for not only offense but also defense. This back hop right here, by pressing back and circle, will initiate a backstep. This backstep has iframes, so you can dodge attacks with it, and then you can also utilize it to charge it up and do some cheeky little footwork here. So you can dodge an attack and then get launched up in the air and then come down with your shield, deal some KO damage to the head. On top of being able to launch yourself in the air, you also can charge the perfect rush combo. This is pretty iconic to the sword and shield. It's a 3-piece combo that also launches you up in the air, and then you can come down with your shield. You have a lot of different options from the air, so I'll go ahead and show off some of the options here. You have the normal slash, which I don't really recommend using. You can get a mount off of that, but it doesn't really do that much damage. And then if you go up, you can use a shield. That does about 65 damage. And then your last option will be a driving thrust that does a bunch of hits, and the taller the monster is, the more hits you're going to deal. It's a great option for really tall monsters, or if something is standing up on its hind legs. I want to quickly go back and talk about Perfect Rush here. Perfect Rush is a charge attack, so you need to have relatively decent timing when pressing it, or else you're going to deal less damage. Did 200 damage while mashing the combo out, so let's do it properly this time. It did almost about 100 damage more, so you can kind of see how you want to time this attack and use it appropriately. It obviously takes a really long time to get through the whole process of the combo, but there's some really nifty tricks that you can do with this. When you are launched off of a monster, you can delay your option very, very late, and so you can use this to your advantage to wait for the monster to attack underneath you and then follow up with an attack right before, or if it's moving its head in a really weird way and it's not going to move it back until later, you can just delay your option and then make sure your attack is landing where you want it to go. Now, if we enter focus mode by pressing L2 or left trigger, you will bring up this reticle, but you also have access to your focus attack, which you can utilize to attack a wound. You have some options from here. You can do the plunge, or like the thrust from the air. Additionally, you can also go up into the air by pressing the circle button, and that will allow you to, you know, come back down with the shield to deal even more KO damage. Typically, if I have a wound on the face, I'll go for the shield option. If I have a wound kind of like on the wing, or something that's elevated, or something that won't really take any blunt damage or give me any extra benefit, I'll go ahead and use the plunge. Additionally, something that I don't think a lot of other weapons actually have this property when they're using their focus attacks. The sword and shield, if you see that I'm attacking like and my reticle is relatively close to the floor, it just kind of, it does a normal attack that is normally grounded. However, if I aim up slightly, my character will do a little hop and try to, you know, reach for the top shelf and and get a wound if it's elevated above their head. A cheeky little detail that I didn't really know about until later, but I can see how it's going to help a lot of sword and shield users because our range is really limited. But there's even a cool little way that you can get even more elevation if a wound is very, very high, or like a monster is flying. From a guard, if you use a slide near a ledge, you'll see that you gain a little bit of extra elevation there. You can even use your focus attack whilst in the air. It might be a little tricky to land, but if you can land that, that would be very, very cool. It's also worth noting that this video was filmed during the beta phase of the game, and that Capcom has confirmed that there are going to be new weapon changes also with the full launch of the game. These changes are that a rising slash can be used while guarding, parameter improvements to various attacks, which I believe just means that these combos are going to be dealing more damage in full release of the game. Some combos will be more responsive, and that the backstep and the sliding swipe will also have some more iframes. Once full release is finally around, I want to make a more in-depth guide about the sword and shield and pretty much every other weapon, so I'll get around to that eventually. In previous Monster Hunter games, the sword and shield is definitely the jack of all trades. It's able to do both slicing and blunt damage. It can use a multitude of items to fill out a support role with certain builds and decorations. It's able to deal great elemental damage, and it's also able to be great at status ailments. So this weapon is just, it's close to my heart because I just really enjoy having that versatility. You have great mobility, great defensive options, great offensive options. It's just got a little bit of everything. So that's going to do it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you learned something. If you have something to add, or if I forgot something, leave it in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.